Om Sadashivasamarampham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, because of the disturbances, I'm muting everyone. Anyone wants to ask a question, will have to unmute themselves and ask. So any questions, clarifications before we go ahead, or we are fine? Even in the camp, any questions, though we are not met for about a week. We had a gap of a week after the camp. Any questions, clarifications, shoot. Otherwise, we go ahead with the text. Okay, I'll assume all clear. Okay. We are doing the 13th chapter, right?
Verse 9, Swami, you have to start.
Beg your pardon?
Verse 9, you have to start.
Yeah, verse 9, no? 13th chapter, verse 9. Yes. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, that we saw, yes. How that gives a sense of urgency to the pursuit. When you recognize that there is a deadline for life, okay, literal deadline for life, there's a sense of urgency for the pursuit. Yeah. And why that value becomes necessary is because Yudhishthira's answer to Yamadeva, He says, every year, what is the biggest wonder in the world, he was asked. And he said, every day people see other people going to Yama's abode, but we think we are going to live here forever. Yeah. Therefore, to keep that in front of your mind, not to become morbid about things, but to recognize that this is a fact of life. You don't have endless time. Therefore, to use the time to the best of your abilities, live by your priorities, etc. All that becomes clearer. We saw all that last time. I hope people have worked on their priorities also. Okay. That's what we had said last time, 2 weeks back. Okay. Then he goes, Asaktihi anabhishvangaha putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. Asaktihi. Freedom from your sense of ownership. This ownership becomes a big thing, Yeah, I know. In corporates, etc., we want people to feel ownership with respect to their responsibilities, etc. That's all fine. But we have a tendency to hold on to things. Asakti. Absence of that. Okay. We are holding on to. Look into your cupboard. You'll get a clear idea. Okay. What all stuff you have kept which you are not used for so many years. Okay. Everybody in every house will have a drawer or something for odds and ends. Some screws, some broken light holders, this, that. Kabhi kaam mein aayega, The inability of a human being to be free from ownership. No? This is mine, I want it. Because somewhere that holding on to something gives you some sort of moorings in the thing. There is this, is brought out very nicely in this TV serial called The Big Bang Theory. There's a group of friends who meet every evening, etc. Couple of them are roommates, neighbors, working together. So about 5-6 people. And there is one character there, supposed to be the most intelligent, who has one fixed spot for him to sit. Others keep changing around here and there. But this guy has got one fixed. Nobody else can sit on his spot. And he's got a lot of reasoning for it, which I don't want to go into. So somebody asked him, what is the big deal about it? He says, in this world, chaotic, unstructured world, this is what gives me a sense of mooring. To put it in terms of three-dimensional figures, 0.000 x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, 000. So that I feel a sense of stability. People do that with things. Your stability is not supposed to be coming from things. If your stability is going to come from things, you're going to be highly unstable. Why? Nothing lasts. No? That favorite dress becomes old and faded within a couple of years. Yeah. Comfortable old shoe. Which reminds me, I better change mine. See, you came with nothing, you're going to go with nothing. In between, you possess a few things. You own nothing. By the logic of it coming to you, it'll go away from you. You pick up a new thing, you're thrilled with it, until you start seeing the limitations of it. Got a new house. I mean, what's the biggest possession people have? House. New house. Oh, it's great. It is perfect. Vastu compliant. This, that, etc. Fine. Then what happens? Within a month of moving inside, you see, this should have been there, that should have been here. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Swamiji, aren't you very happy with the new land that we have seen? Isn't it perfect? Aren't you not excited about it? I said, yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm not excited about it. No. It is adequate for what we are planning in mind. It's good. It's good, okay? Adequate. Then somebody else, isn't there a wow factor to it? That wow factor would be if the Ganga is flowing by. How will you expect me to have a wow factor? Come on, yeah. And that's not feasible in near Bombay. No? Ganga isn't there, Rishikesh. Not in Bombay. How do you expect that? Foolish to expect that. But don't you feel it is my place coming up? My place? God willing, I will hold it for about 20 years, hand over to my successor and go. And even when I am looking after it, it is not mine. It belongs to a trust. Mera kya hai? It belongs to me personally. Yeah, I'll look after it to the best of my abilities, etc., etc. All that thing, with support and help from all of you. That's it. Is it not yours? No, it belongs to everyone. It belongs to all of you. We are creating teachers for your children. Is it yours? No, not mine. How is it mine? Nothing is yours. What is yours? You struggle to get something. Yeah, you struggle to get something good. Believe me, you won't have to struggle for it to go away from you. Or you to go away from it. It'll happen. Yeah, it'll happen. To recognize that. My teacher used to tell a joke about this, make a big joke out of the whole thing. What is it that you own? Do you own this body of yours? No. You don't own this body as well. Your mother claims it. He is born of my flesh. First claimant. Father claims it. Why, you didn't make it all by yourself. What is inside is mine. That is evident. But that Father claims it. Employer claims it. What do you mean? He's on contract with me. Even if he's going out of town on a holiday, he has to let me know where he is and has to remain contactable in case of an emergency. The child claims. That's all fine, but the wife claims first. Why? If your child, etc., was your parents, your children first. Now that he is married to me, he is mine. Correct? Becoming your child, he didn't have a choice. Being my husband, he had a choice. So it's something he chose to. So he's mine. I'm the better half. He is the lesser half. The state can claim. In case of an emergency, he can be conscripted. Child will claim, is my papa. Child will claim. So my teacher used to say, imagine a scene like this in a courtroom when all this is happening. Everyone is claiming on this guy, one guy. And then there is a mass petition from all the bacteria in the stomach and the intestines. All the benign bacteria that is there, which gives rise to your second gut, your second brain. Your gut is supposed to be your second brain. We have been living here as a cooperative society for generations. This is our inherited property. None of you can touch it. That's the last word. Inherited property, you can't do anything about it. And in between, the guy is saying, it is my body. The only advantage is, you can take the body and walk away. But what I'm trying to say, or what the story is trying to say is, what is yours? When the body is not yours. That's why you're going to leave it and go away one day. And the same people who loved you is going to set you on fire. Heartless characters. Be thankful you are not a sadhu. You will be fed to the fishes in the Ganga. Which is good. Why? It's not going waste, na? Are you getting the idea? What is yours? I mean, jokes apart, the fun part of it, nothing is yours. Nothing is mine. मुष्टि बनकर आने वाले हाथ फैलाकर जाएगा. Correct? खाली हाथ आया है, खाली हाथ जाएगा. चढ़ता सूरज धीरे धीरे ढल जाएगा, ढल जाएगा. Right? And you need nothing. Everything was provided for you when you came. No? Things are given to you. When you came here, you didn't come with tons of food and oxygen and things like that. You came with a small briefcase, a backpack. Your body, that's it. And that also what had to be nurtured for a few years before it could become independent. This is me. Came with nothing, going with nothing. What is mine? Therefore, to have that healthy attitude, you are the trustee of this body. You are the trustee of the things that you possess. Therefore, look after it well, take care of it. Take care of it, look after it well. Yeah, take care of it, look after it well. That's it. You are a trustee for everything that you own. Asaktihi. That means what? I don't extend my sense of why to my belongings. I don't judge myself by the things that I own. We do that. Yeah. It seems to as though my house, my car, everything contributes to my sense of self. Bad, problematic. Yeah. There was a sadhu, it's quite well known in the academic field actually. He's no more now. He was called Agehananda. The Ananda, the joyful one, who does not have a house. Agehananda. So you can have a house and be free from the sense of ownership. That ownership is your own, whether you are staying on a rented flat or your own flat, ownership flat. Ownership flat is some way of being able to own a house without owning the land below. It's a very creative solution found in Bombay. Started with Bombay first. Yeah. Because the cooperative society owns the land. Though really speaking, there is no entity called cooperative society other than the members. But the members don't own the land. The society, you created a mithya super entity, pure mithya super entity called society, which owns the land. Yeah. And you own a flat. You're a shareholder. You're a shareholder. You don't really own the flat also. So can you see how limited the sense of ownership is, really speaking, even in pragmatic terms? I mean, I can go on this. Your ceiling is the floor of the guy above. Your floor is the ceiling of the guy below. So where are you? Where is your thing? One wall is the neighbor's wall also. Thank God we are living in India. We can make all the racket that we want here. If you are living in states, etc., after 10 o'clock in the night, you can't even flush the toilet. Why? The noise is disturbing your neighbor. Is that rule there in UK also, Nirmala? No, it's not there. Okay.
As long as we are considering it Swamiji.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, can you imagine? Living in some places, you can't actually flush your toilet in the night. Ridiculous. But hey, that's cooperative society. It's only called cooperative society. It's one of the most uncooperative entities in the world. Anyway, jokes apart. Asaktihi, you own nothing. That attitude. I possess a few things. I will deal with it when I am here. It came to me. It will go away from me. So your attitude will be agate swagatam kuriyat. When it comes, welcome it. Gachantam nanuvaret. When it goes away, don't hold it back. There you go. Asakti. The next one is Anabhishwangaha Putradara Grihadishu. Anabhishangaha. An meaning not. Okay. An is used in the sense of nunch, not. What is not supposed to be there? Abhishwangaha. Abhishwangaha is Ati sneha, that extreme sense of love, possessive love. That to what? Putra dara grihadishu. Adi padat bharya ityadi comes into this. We treat our partner in life, our child, etc., as though they are extensions of ourselves. Especially children. Yeah, my youngest student is on, He's only about few months. But I am sure he's already started exhibiting some independent behavior, isn't it? Yeah, will be. Because the Purna Purusha, complete person. It's a complete person come. The body has to catch up, that's all. The person is complete. Yeah. He has lived many lifetimes. He has lived many lifetimes. Been there, done that. Only he doesn't remember all that, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Imagine carrying the load of multiple lifetimes. Yeah. One lifetime load is bad enough. The trauma and the disappointments of one lifetime is bad enough. Imagine multiple lifetimes if you had to carry. Kya ho jayega? You have to be able to. You should be able to handle it. Most people are not. Most people are not. So this atisneha, this extension of things, that possessiveness, free from that, from people and things. That's why he says putra dara grihadishu. Putra is child, dara your partner, griham house, etc. I know this guy who got married and he told his wife, don't crib about spending time with my bike, okay? That's as important to me as if you are. It's my bike. So I asked him, how did your wife agree to marry you? Or like all women she knew, after marriage she will change him. Then he met with a couple of accidents and now he doesn't ride a bike anyway. But this thing, that possessiveness, in very often we don't know how to love. We think being possessive is love. And when you fall in love for the first time, you enjoy that possessiveness. So she cares, that's why she's saying this. He cares, that's why. Later, after some time, it becomes a headache. Oh my God, this is too much. I feel suffocated. Everything he has got a solution. Everything she has got to say something about it. Where is my personality coming in? It is subsumed in the relationship. No, need not be. To have your identity. Remember, love is about two complete beings coming together. It is not two halves making a whole. Two halves making a whole, you are in for a problem. Yeah. It is two whole complete people coming together. I think in this coming months, for last Valentine's Day, I had written a article called The Problem of Unconditioned Love, how it can become a problem. The idea of unconditioned love itself can become a problem. This Valentine's Day, I have written about what is healthy love. Okay, I think it will come in your newsletter that's coming on 1st of March. It will come, please, that link will come. Have a look at it. Very brief, just 300 words, so very brief. But it will give you an insight into what it is. To have that type of a thing. Yeah. To be able to love without possessing. Yeah. Otherwise, it will be like what we are taught in moral science in school, We had this funny moral science class. Which is the most stupid logic I ever heard in the world coming into that. Even as a kid, I thought it was so stupid. Yeah, I'm not joking. Why should we obey God's laws? We should obey God's laws because God loves us. Huh? ये किधर से आया? God loves me, therefore I must obey Him. What logic is that? If He loves me, why doesn't He do what I want? Because I love you, I married you, I brought you into this world, you must do what I want. Huh? ये किधर से बात? From where did this come up? Where did this come up? Yeah. I carried you for 9 months, therefore you should do what I say all your life. Huh? I'll decide who you get married towards. ये क्या बात है? You are not getting married. He or she is getting married. Na? But we have these ideas. He is denying me the experience of choosing a bride for him. Be happy, na? He's not going to blame you for anything then. But all these type of things we have in the thinking that is love, it's possessiveness, it's not love. The child is the same. Yeah, child, there is a certain amount of dependency in the relationship until the child becomes an adult, accepted. But there also to respect. Okay, I'm not saying that we go so far as the Western world, respect child's rights. Therefore, a 5-year-old child, you will ask, Beta, what do you want for breakfast? Sunny boy, what do you want for breakfast? And what if he says chocolate? Well, that's his choice, I have to give him chocolate. Idiot. There the Indian mother is 100 times better. I made upma for everyone, you better eat. That's it. Which is good. See, that much of freedom of choice is not healthy. Why? Because you are making unhealthy choices. Which child, which 5-year-old will make a healthy choice for breakfast? Tell me. Unless right from the beginning the child has been exposed to only healthy foods. But then when the child grows up, it may eat junk with a vengeance. Because you have been too healthy at home. See, the child comes with his own samskaras. It has to unfold its own personality. On the basis of its samskaras, it has to unfold its own personality. Yeah. And what has to manifest has to manifest. Yeah. You can't control everything. Haven't we found that there are some families where the kids are so different from the parents? So different. That sometimes they can't understand you. You are looking at one of them, okay? Yeah. They just can't get what you want out of it. So it happens because your personality is different. What you have undergone, previous samskaras are different. If you have to let that samskaras unfold itself. Let their personality bloom. That cannot happen with abhishwangaha. Therefore, na abhishwanga. Which, abhishwangaha. Na atisneha. Anabhishwangaha. With abhishwanga it can't happen, therefore, anabhishwangaha. Na atisneha. No possessiveness. To be able to love without being possessive. To love respecting the individuality of the other person. To love, respecting the freedom of the other person to be what the person is. And see how you can get along together. But Swamiji, if he is like that, I will not be able to get along with him. So that's where both of you have to learn and come to some common thing of being able to adjust with each other. That's part of growth in life. Otherwise, you should have thought of it before you got married. Imagine if the person was a carbon copy of you, would you get along with that person? Carbon copy of yourself. I will, in my case, also definitely not. One of me is enough. Okay, na anibhishangaha putradara grihadishu. Next one, any questions? Please break in between and ask, okay? Especially with this anabhishanga with respect to children, etc. That is where the thing goes off. Partners also it goes off. I find so many couples coming to me, and one of them will complain. Swamiji is not the man I married. He has changed so much. And the guy says, yeah, that's right, Swamiji. 20 years she has been changing me only. How can I remain the same? Or another couple I know. The girl saw him so helpful towards the students, so helpful to people around. So sense of loyalty, helpfulness, nurturing students. My God, he's such a great person. I must marry him only. And within a few years, the couple comes to me for counseling. Why? The same thing that you admired became a problem. Why? He is nurturing, he is caring. Therefore, his time goes among a lot of other people. You thought all that will be available for you, or what? He'll cut off everyone else from his life, and all that nurturing, love, affection, caring, all that will be only for you. That's not him. He's giving it out. So it called for sudden work on my part, on their part. They're still together after 20 years after that incident, which is a good sign. Yeah. Okay, all right. Then nityam cha samachitvatvam ishtanishtopupatishu. Ishtam cha anishtam cha. What is desirable for you, what is not desirable for you. Meaning in terms of your desires, etc. Upapattishu, when it comes up. Which will, this is life. You're not going to get everything you would like, or you're not going to get everything you dislike also. Something of, you can't keep everything that you like, dislike away from you. From mother-in-law onwards. You can't keep everyone away. Okay, older people here, so I'll have to say daughter-in-law onwards. Okay. Therefore, ishtam, anishtam, upapattishu, when they come up, situations, people, things, circumstances, viruses, okay, Wuhan virus, all of them when they come up, nityam cha samachittatvam, nityam always, regularly, samachittatvam, having a sense of balance. Your mind is at balance. Samachittatvam. Karma yoga buddhi, in other words. You have a sense of balance, acceptance of things, doing what you can. Accept, do what you can. Accept, do what you can. Accept situations, do what you can. Accept situation, respond to it. Accept situation, respond to it. Accept situations, let go of it. That also is necessary sometimes. Accept situation, learn to live with it. Next couple of years, we are going to live with the virus. Endemic stage, no? After that it will become like cough and cold. Then you can happily live with it. Nityam cha samachittatvam. When things happen, what you like or what you dislike happen. Samaha. Samatvam yoga muchyate. Remember? Somewhere we had come across that, na? याद है किधर आया था? Samatvam yogam uchyate. After that came yoga karmasu kaushalam. Third chapter.
Third chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. Therefore, nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopupatishu is reminding you of that. And all this, don't forget that. Okay. That we have talked enough, we understood enough. So, karma yoga being a fact of your life on a regular basis. Okay, that's it. मयि च अनन्य योगेन भक्ति ही अव्यभिचारिणी. मयि ईश्वरे, in me, in Ishvara, ananya yogena, by the yoga of non-difference, by the understanding that Ishvara is not really separate from you. Avyabhicharini bhakti, an unshaken bhakti. The bhakti that comes from understanding, not merely belief. Avyabhicharini bhakti. When you have that unshaken bhakti like that, then nityam cha samachittatvam becomes very easy. The extent you will be a karma yogi will depend upon how your understanding of Ishvara is. Because your bhakti is not blind. We are logical people, we are thinkers. Therefore, our bhakti has to come from understanding. However much you believe, your belief is on shaky grounds. The best of believers have expressed doubt throughout their lives. Because belief is like that. Because what is belief? My teacher used to give a wonderful definition for belief. Belief is judgment before knowledge. Therefore, subject to correction on verification. Therefore, if you believe in God, that belief is subject to correction. God is loving. How do you know? Belief. Subject to correction. When you verify. God will reward you in heaven, this, that, etc. Belief. Subject to correction on verification. Yeah. Your understanding. Ishvara's abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. The non-different material and efficient cause of the whole universe, etc. Now the understanding, therefore the understanding of the order, Ishvara is alive. The more you understand, the more alive Ishvara is for you. It's not just an idea, not just a concept. Ishvara is not a concept. Ishvara is a fact as much as this body of mine is a fact. In fact, more. This body will collapse. Ishvara will be along there. This body exists because of Ishvara's order. It will collapse by Ishvara's order. Therefore, that is more real. That understanding, when it becomes a fact of your life, that is called avyabhicharini bhakti. The devotion which is not shaken. It's not shaken by anything. Yeah. What can shake it? Can your trust in gravity be shaken? Supposing I were to tell you, don't worry, jump off the 10th floor of this building. मैं हूं ना साथ में. Will any one of you jump off? If any of you say yes, I'll kick you on your back, okay? Or if I were to say, look at this beautiful rabbit in my hands. Can you see this rabbit? Beautiful, isn't it? It's so white and fluffy and so soft to touch. See? Beautiful rabbit. See how he likes being petted? Will any of you say this is a rabbit? Why? Because your pramana, the eyes tell you this is pen, not rabbit. Hey, no belief in me or what? What is this? You were supposed to have Shraddha in your teacher. This is called Andhavishwasa. It is like that. What is her name? Chitra Ramakrishnan, right? Someone claiming to be a Himalayan yogi sent emails. Himalaya say, where do you have internet connection? I don't know. Sent emails. How to run the NSE.
NSE.
Yeah.
Yesterday's paper has got a complete detail in economic
Yeah, yeah. So,
Swamiji, she's from Chembur.
I don't know her. Yeah.
And that ardent devotees of Sringeri, her parents.
Yeah, I would like to meet her sometime and knock some sense into her head. Idiot.
I should not be talking like that, but they used to criticize everybody and used to talk so much about their. I mean, should not talk in this thing.
It's stupidity. So tomorrow, if I get not tomorrow. I keep getting your SIM card will be blocked because certain KYC details have not been updated. Please click on this link. You think I'm going to be stupid enough to click on that link? It is a hoax called. If I click on that link, then my thing will get blocked and I'll have to pay some money to get out of it.
Swamiji, I don't think there can be anybody who is having 100% sattvic guna. You understand? And even if he is having say 90% sattvic guna, there is no guarantee that he is going to remain sattvic right throughout his life.
We are not talking about the gunas right now. I am talking about that bhakti, that belief system.
Yeah.
Look into that belief system. So if I won't believe in this, and I am sure that lady also won't believe in it, how could you believe that the email you are receiving is from some Himalayan yogi? How could you believe it? Either it's gross stupidity or it's an excuse. A foolish excuse to get away with some criminal action. One of the two.
Excuse me, Swamiji, she's a gold medalist in CA.
Is what?
Gold medalist, CA, chartered accountant.
So I met a lot of stupid intellectuals.
All India rank holder she is.
So what? I met a lot of stupid intellectuals. Just because you are good in academics doesn't mean you are really intelligent. So this is the issue. That type of bhakti is problematic bhakti. That's not the bhakti we are looking for. Bhakti based on understanding, on knowledge, and this thing. Yeah. Then it becomes atalam. Yeah. Avyabhicharani. It becomes firm. Can't be shaken. Why? Because Ishvara. That is why, see the big difference between the Vedic thinking and other religions. Other religions requires miracles to establish godhood or sainthood. We don't. Why? Because the very laws of nature, the laws of science, etc., itself is a manifestation of Ishvara. Therefore, disorder is also part of the order. Therefore, just because someone does a miracle doesn't mean anything. We have not yet understood how it does it. Okay. Now, this guy was a very good man, great saint in his own way. He used to give vibhuti to everyone. Until once that magician PC Sarkar went to meet him. So he gave some vibhuti to PC Sarkar. And Sarkar said, "Thank you, Swamiji. Let me give you something." And he waved his hand and gave him a rasagulla. Yeah. You did it actually. No, but that is a siddhi, this is a magic trick. Ki barak painde. We don't require miracles in our understanding of God. Ishvara is not proved by miracles. If you are miracle, the fact you are alive is a big miracle. The fact that the earth is positioned in such a manner that life can not only happen but proliferate on earth is a great miracle. Theoretically, mathematical, statistics wise, there should be a lot of earths in the universe. But up to now we have found only one. A lot of earths that can sustain life, etc. Theoretically or as a statistical component, there should be at least 100. But we have found only one up to now. Maybe in the future we may find, I don't know. What I am trying to say is that itself, the way the whole thing is designed itself is a miracle. Why do you need other miracles? Way my body functions is a miracle. One piece of equipment that goes without rest for 80 years, 90 years, dub, it goes on. Does your society pump go on without maintenance like that? No maintenance also. What maintenance is it? In fact, abuse is happening. All sorts of junk you are eating and cholesterol going high, etc. In spite of that, there is struggles and functions. Big miracle. Big miracle. What other miracle you need? Without miracles, understanding. Understanding what is Ishvara. Abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. Yeah. Before that session on Karma Yoga, etc., I have elaborated this understanding of Ishvara. Okay? I am sure all of you recognize that also and understand that. Therefore, the more you understand, that emotional response that comes with it is called bhakti, devotion. For a Karma Yogi, it manifests as a sense of acceptance, as a sense of recognizing the order, as a sense of recognizing that everything is sacred. This is all typical Hindu things, isn't it? Yeah. This guy is Kattar Hindutva character, okay? He can't even hear the name Aurangzeb. But he stamps a history book. This all history book has got only Mughal Empire, as though no other empire existed in India. But he'll touch it and keep it. Why? I stamped a book, printed word here. Saraswati, I will not stamp it. What is written inside, he'll go and burn it, but he will not stamp it. Why? Everything is sacred. The sacredness of the whole thing. The aliveness of the whole thing. You didn't need anything else to feel more alive. Ishvara. What can be more alive than that? Therefore, Maisha Ananya Yogena Bhakti Abhya. Ananya Yogena is also important because that is finally the goal you are going to understand, no? That Ishvara and you are one and the same. But that cannot be a beginning point, no? That is supposed to be something that you understand in time. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. is what you understand. So in the meantime, what it is? In the meantime also, you are not different from Ishvara. Ishvara is not in Timbuktu. No? Ishvara is not in Timbuktu, he is alive all around. Therefore, Ananya Yogena comes that way also. Yeah. What is not Ishvara? It is that because of which you can invoke Ishvara in anything. Yeah, you can invoke Ishvara in everything. In a stone, in a tree, in anything. And we do it all the time. Why? Because everything is Ishvara. Any form. All forms are his forms, therefore he can be invoked in any form. Of course, by tradition, culture, etc., there are some forms which are recognized forms. But you can create your own forms, not a problem. Therefore, Ananya Yogena, the yoga of non-difference. Ishvara is not separate from you. Okay? He is alive. What is not Ishvara? Your body, your mind, the sun and the moon and the stars, the table, the laptop, the book in my hand. Everything is Ishvara. What is not Ishvara? Everything. Ananya Yogena. Okay. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, the next one. Very important. To be able to spend some time in a quiet place. Meaning, a quiet place, where are you spending time? You are being with yourself. Having some quiet time with yourself. Very important. Why? How do you understand yourself? What do you really want out of life? Your desires, your hopes, your aspirations. How do you understand your friend so well? Because you spend time with the friend. Na? You listen to your friend. How do you understand your partner? Because you spend time together. Even if it is a long distance marriage or a long distance relationship, you are Skyping and having WhatsApp calls and this and that, and you are listening to each other. You are spending time. Only then you understand. So how will you understand yourself relatively? Forget absolutely. That the pramana will take care of it. But before the pramana can work, you need to understand yourself relatively. I was like, Samji, I was sitting all alone in my house for the last 1 week. I am bored. Bored of whom? Yourself? You are sitting alone. Whom are you bored with? Yourself. To understand the ways of how your mind will work. How do you know that? Unless you spend time with yourself. What really matters to you? How do you know? Until you spend time with yourself. What are your priorities? Samji, tell me some exercise to discover. Yeah, but you need to spend time with yourself. What is your need behind the desire? Desire you can make out. What is the need behind it? Desires also people don't always know correctly. What is the need behind it? Half of us chose our careers and then realized we are in the wrong boat. No? Even me, I am happy with what career I had, but I know I am better with people than with machines. But that took time to discover. Samji, what would you have done if you are continuing working? I would have done MBA and things like that and moved that side. Moved to dealing with people. Course correction is always possible. Thank God I discovered moksha is the most important thing to me. How did you do that? Because I spent time with myself. Yeah. I would always spend time with myself. It's important. Go for a walk by yourself. So how can I walk alone? You're walking, no? You are sitting alone at home. Good. Isolation is not a problem. Samji, what problem did you face in lockdown? I said, no problems. Big deal. What problem? But you're all alone by yourself. Yeah, so? I'm all alone by myself. So what's the big deal? Vivikta Desha Sevatam. To be comfortable with yourself. That's where the next value comes up. Aratihi Jana Samsadi. Don't be somebody who always is reveling in company of people. You can't do without people. Aratihi Jana Samsadi. You know, one psychologist was seeing the way I conduct workshops, this, that, etc. So at the end of it, Swamiji, you draw energy from the crowd. You're a people person. I said, yeah, true. I'm a people person. I did get along very well with people. But I'm actually a bit of a loner. I can't believe that. Aratihi Jana Samsadi. You don't have to revel in the Ratihi, meaning to revel. Jana Samsadi, with people. You don't have to revel with people all the time. You have to be comfortable with yourself. When people are there, you enjoy their company. When people are there, not there, you enjoy your own company. then lockdown is not a big deal. What is the big deal about it? So the big deal is there are too many people at home. That I can understand. That I can relate to. So all people who are talking to me about the virtues of family are thinking again. They are seeing the other side of the picture. Yeah. In fact, one guy, very senior man in the corporate, he was away for his family for 2-3 years, posted in a different city, things like that. Then he came back to the city where his family was. And you know what is one concern of him? Samji has got so used to being alone for the last 3 years. I am not sure how it will be when I am living with my family 24/7. I said, see that your job will ensure that you are out of town for a couple of days every week. Then you will be fine. In fact, I tell this to all working people. From work, don't rush home immediately. Spend a few minutes by yourself, either walking home for some time or sitting down somewhere and having a cup of tea by yourself. Whether you're a man or woman doesn't matter. Spend that few minutes by yourself is important. Important. Get that inner clearance before you relate, because you have to relate differently. Aratihi jana samsadi. Think about this. I wanted to take both these values together. That's why I extended by a couple of minutes. But think about it. And next class we can come back and this thing. Next class I'm not sure I'll be there. I'll put up in the group. Okay. Yeah. I may go to Ravana's country. I'm not sure. You know Ravana's country, no? Yeah. Yeah. I may have to. Yeah. So I will put up in the group. If I can take a class from there, no, nothing like it. Okay, but evening time I have a program at I think 6. I'm not sure of the time. I'll check up the time. If the program and this class time doesn't clash, I can have the class, because all it requires for me is a phone. 2 phones I can take the class. Okay, yeah. And if that program time clashes, then I will not be able to. All this becomes part of the game now, because you have to raise funds, have this thing there. So do whatever it takes. Okay, yeah. Okay. So good place to stop. Okay.